Welcome back to From the Source podcast. This is episode 39, and today we're going to be talking about recovery, how you recover from an event or a competition or some kind of race. So we'll go through it and start with, I guess it depends on what you're recovering from, because,
Sorry.
I was just stretching there.
No, I had an itchy foot in the added.
Depends what you're recovering from. So, like, if you've run a marathon, then your recovery is going to be different to someone who's just done like a weightlifting competition. But there's going to be some similarities, but of course there'll be differences. So let's say you're recovering from a race, like a high rocks event, yeah? What would be your first point of call, like recovery-wise? Like, from the moment you finish the race, what do you say is like important? We'll go through them.
Fluids. Getting those fluids back in.
Yeah, because you've obviously been sweating, right? And you've been breathing heavily. So all them fluids that you've been hydrating, like electrolytes and stuff, have pretty much gone from your system to some extent. So you're going to need to replenish that.
Yeah. And then some like quick foods, basically. A lot of people like go to like sweets, don't they? But
Like sugars and carbs.
yeah, so like bananas are good.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be sweets. They're probably easy because you can always eat sweets, can't you?
Yeah.
You're never too full for sweets.
No, like a kid, aren't you? Second stomach.
Yeah.
So like fruit, like apples, oranges, like bananas. Just something quickly to get those like sugars back in.
You made me think of the bananas at High Rocks. They're all brown. Sat there for like 12 hours.
Yeah, the apples have been cut in like quarters and they're brown.
And they're like, do you want a piece of apple? You're like, I'd rather literally lick that piece of sweat on the floor.
Yeah, you get a choice between an apple and banana and then a can of Red Bull. And
Like none of them.
I'm all right. Like
Normally it's quite good to give. I went to one, they gave you like my protein sachet of protein,
yeah,
which is good. But
yeah,
you want something in because you've lost a lot. Breath and sweat, like you're losing a lot of stuff. And mainly sweat, like you're losing salt, you're losing electrolytes that your body needs. So having a drink of water with electrolytes or some kind of fluid, and like you said, some carbs, some food, something to get your blood sugars back up.
probably, and then some form of like light static stretching afterwards. But a lot of us, we didn't do that after our high rocks.
A lot of people don't because you prioritize the pre-race routine, and as soon as your race is done, you just want to sit down and chill.
Because you go from like piping hot, running around, sweating your ass off, get back in a car, sit in it for 2 hours and drive home.
Yeah, and then you get back in bed or on the sofa and you're just chilling. So
Yeah.
I know it was the same when I did my marathon. Like, you race, you run, you finish, you don't stretch, you get a photo, you go for a beer or something to eat, and you just go home and get to sleep.
Yeah.
But if we're giving you advice and you're listening to this, I don't personally do it, but I do wish I did. And I think I'll try to in the future. Just have a 5-minute stretch. That's going to help you more than not.
Yeah, just a light, literal like stretch your hamstrings, stretch your quads, bend over and stretch your back and do all that. And
because it's going to prevent you from cramping as well.
Yeah.
So often cramp comes when you've done something and you've stopped. That's when the cramp comes. But yeah, stretching straight after is definitely like the top priority within that moment. Then the second one I'd say is the rest and the sleep that comes after. So if you've done some kind of event, like sporting fitness event, you need to prioritize like when you will next rest and recover and sleep, because for the next day at least, or a couple of days for most, you need to make sure that you get in like enough recovery sleep. That's when your body repairs itself, isn't it, when you're asleep?
Yeah, it's like a recovery deload week, the week after your event, basically. So have a few days off, keep moving, like go for a walk or something, not a hike. And then slowly get back into it.
Yeah, it's like it's like, when people go for a shakeout run
Yeah.
before a race. You want to do something like that after. It doesn't have to be a run, but like maybe if you've ran a half marathon and then the day after you want to do some form of walking because you'll probably feel like you want to just lay in bed and watch Netflix, but that's not going to help you at all.
Yeah, a lot of people do that, don't they? Like, they'll mong out for 2 days, eat chocolate and crap and do nothing, and then wonder why in a week's time that the body's still sore
Yeah.
from an event, and they're sat there going, "Oh, people are back in the gym after doing stuff like that."
It's like, well, you've recovered quick enough, and everyone's recovery is different. But if you do, let's say, even if you do a high rocks race, the night of that race, you want to get a good night's sleep. Maybe,
You will anyway,
yeah,
'cause
you
you're
will.
knackered.
Like minimum, you should really be trying to get 8 hours because you need your body to recover. And when you go to sleep, it's like all your body cells kind of start to repair themselves. Then the next day wants to be like something chill. You don't want to be like in the gym. You don't want to be running. You just want to be like moving. Depends on your person. Some people listen to this might be like, actually, I do go for a run the next day,
Mm.
but some people are mental.
But it'll probably be a slow run though. But I mean, the day after you'd be stretching as well,
Yeah,
just light stretching,
it's
nothing.
it's not advisable, I'd say.
Yeah,
But
nothing mental. Probably by like day 4, day 5, maybe you've gone out for like a very slow run.
yeah,
Like, don't bother about your pace. Just make sure it's not a walk.
and then when you've kind of moved the body, stretched, you still want to prioritize that recovery. When we did high rocks, I didn't go to the gym for 5 days or 4 days because I just wanted um, mental recovery. Like, I want to chill. I want some kind of peace. Like, I don't want to be going back into the gym the next day. Like, "Hey, how's everyone going?" Like, sometimes you want to tone it all down, don't you?
Yeah.
And then obviously your body needs recovery time. So just let yourself have a break. Like Sam said, a deload week. But even if your deload week is like the week after your week off, it's like get enough time to have time off.
Because if you get back into it, you probably will feel the first session will feel bad, but you'll feel all right, and you'll be like, "I see, I don't even need to do recovery." And then when you start your next training block, it'll just hit you. You'll either struggle, you'll be sore, you might get injured.
Yeah, I was going to say that's when it's like boom, injury.
Yeah,
Because you weren't as strong, you weren't as ready as you thought you were. So that's when you start to like snap muscle fibers or like, you start being a little bit like complacent, and then next thing you know, you've pulled your shoulder or something. It's not worth it. But the other thing is nutrition, because we talked about refueling, like after, like get your liquids in and get some kind of like quick carbs in. But then your nutrition after that week shouldn't be pig out on Mackies and, chocolate and sweets every day. Obviously, it's nice to like treat yourself if you're on like a strict diet or something like that. But them foods aren't going to replenish what you've lost in all your training and all your work towards that event or competition or race. You need to get back and onto like some solid, proper, good food.
yeah. Protein for recovery, repair, the carbs. For that energy you'll need to just have that deload week and build those stores back up. Just get some like good fruit and veg in you.
Like the minerals and
Yeah.
vitamins, and I think people don't realize how much they put the body through in training for something, and you kind of sometimes need time off, but you don't have time off your good food diet. That should actually be your number one priority. I think people get it a bit wrong. Like they think, I've worked so hard for this race, now I'm just going to pig out. But actually, like, I've worked so hard for this race, I want to make sure I recover well. So I'm going to eat the right foods that I need, eat a lot of it, but
Yeah, because that
good food.
if you're like a normal working person, you'll be back in work, and if you've not had the right nutrition, you'll just feel like absolute shit.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking of an example. Like, let's say you've done a 10K race and you've fully sent it, and now you need to recover. But the next day you're like, or that night you're like, I'm going to get a Mackey's and treat myself. And the next day you're like, I'm going to have pizza because I want some carbs. And then the day after that you're like, I'm just going to eat some donuts and sweets and pig out. None of that food, or very little of that food's actually been nutritious for your body.
Some people still use the excuse, don't they, of like, I hear it where, say they've done a 10K event on the Saturday and said, oh, I've burnt, I don't know, like 1,500 calories. I've earned this Mackey's, which, yeah, fair enough. At the end of the night, treat yourself. But then, yeah, I did a run on the weekend. I burnt loads of calories. And like you said, I'll have another donut night on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Like, that
You don't wanna
1,500
always be
calories
like-
you've burnt, you've replenished with Mackey's, but then now you're just making it worse.
Yeah.
By
You're
eating
not
more.
always like in debt to yourself. Like, you don't have to do something to then pay it back. Like with food, especially, and like fitness and food and diet, you should, if you've been prioritizing your lead up to an event, there should be a buffer of period where you prioritize like the aftermath of the event. Then I think you could go, I'm just going to pig out and do what I want, because then you're not going to like damage yourself. But I think if you've put your body through a lot for like 6 weeks of training, 12 weeks of training, then put your body through like some good nutrition after it, and then go for your like little pig out if you want, you
Yeah.
know. But don't do it straight away, because I don't know, it just doesn't make sense that it's almost like spending loads of money on on like your card. Like you've spent loads, and then after it you've gone, I'm going to spend loads now. Like again, like, you know.
Yeah, it's like saying, you know, I'm already in debt. I might as well just keep spending because I'm still in debt.
Yeah, but
actually,
like
you're
rather than
more-
go, I'm going to save up, I'm going to really try, and then I'm going to splash out again later. But after a race, you should like really prioritize that nutrition for the next like week at least.
Yeah, and then you'll probably naturally just fall back into how you're eating and training before your event,
Yeah,
and then you'll just, hopefully, most people then plan for the next like 12-week training block, and you'll just get back into it. But that, yeah, if you don't recover after that event, like through nutrition or stretching or sleep or anything like that, you're just making yourself a damn sight worse.
and then there's other things you can do, which are not probably in the top kind of 4 or 5 things we've talked about then, but they're like extras that are really important. So like a Theragun, for example, like foam rolling,
Ice bath,
yeah, the ice bath. These are all extras.
physio, like, or massage or whatever.
Yeah,
You know, like a recovery massage that'll just like flush the system.
these are like the desirables that are going to enhance your recovery, but the minimum you can do is, you know, refuel, nutrition, stretch, kind of go for a walk. Don't just lay forever, but also prioritize that rest. It's like, do lay down and chill and watch Netflix and binge, but don't just do that. Like,
And having a few days off, even like a week off after the event, isn't like the end of the world. You would have lost, say, a bit of speed or a bit of strength or whatever you've done, but if you've also eaten shit at the same time, when you go back to that training session the week after, you'll feel like
oh, it's
you've
going
got
to be
nothing in the
worse.
tank. It's like, it's a horrendous feeling.
Do you know what it's made me think of when we did our big run and then we went for a pint after it, like immediately after it? Within 45 minutes, we were having a pint and we just ran 55K.
I felt like dog shit.
How shit did you feel?
Well, one, I felt pissed. Two, I don't know, I've weirdly started feeling like I was going to cramp.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't get comfortable. It was just like, we'd eaten all of our food. And then the only thing I'd eaten after that was, well, not even eaten, just was a pint.
Yeah.
And
And it made you feel like shit.
And then we got home and I was like, oh, right. I think I went and got like steak and veg and stuff and thought, right, I'll get like some protein, some veg back in me. I just really struggled to eat it.
Yeah. I had a Domino's.
Yeah.
Sat here telling people like, you need to prioritize nutrition. But I had a Domino's. But the funny thing about being a human is, you know what's right And I'm telling people what's right, but what you do is a different story. Because if you've just run 55K, you don't want some greens and carrots and, like a chicken dinner. You want like a Domino's pizza, but that Domino's pizza that I had and that pint that I had didn't aid my recovery whatsoever.
No, it fed you like then and there.
Yeah, it fed my mind.
Basically, yeah.
Like my mind was saying, you want some really like greasy, fast food. As soon as I ate the Domino's, I felt like absolute shit.
Instant regret.
But then the next day, I was like, right, I know what's good for me now. I'm going to have some like oats. I don't think I had oats, but I'm just going to have like some salady stuff, some chicken, some, clean foods, because that's what's going to really like make my body better.
But probably might have been craving a Domino's halfway through the run.
Oh,
and that's
yeah.
what helped you get through the run. And then your brain was like, go on.
Yeah, you have to do what you feel is right. And at that time, Domino's was right for me and I enjoyed it. But did it help me? Not at all.
But you didn't spend the whole week getting Domino's, going to McDonald's,
No.
like eating shite and doing everything else.
And by the way, that was my first Domino's in like 3 years. And I forgot. I didn't even have like a Domino's app. I didn't know how to order it. Didn't know what pizzas they did anymore.
And you probably won't do it again.
Yeah,
for
it
a
was
while.
like 19 quid for a pizza.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
But the point was, my Domino's was a blip. Like, I don't really like stuff like that, to be honest. I like actual food.
Yeah, I like fresh food.
Like, I love steak and chicken and real foods.
I've got into like beans and chickpeas and stuff now.
I thought you meant like baked beans.
No,
I've really got into baked beans.
I like kidney beans and like butter beans and stuff like that.
And all the salad and everything.
And this is the thing, when you get into it, you realise that, do you remember when people used to say like chicken and rice, like chicken and rice broccoli, that's good for you. But when you could have like loads of beans, like, I know we're getting to like cooking now, but like chickpeas, red kidney beans, butter beans, literally oil, salt, pepper, bang them in the oven.
Yeah.
Like
full of protein.
not fry them off, bake them off or whatever. Put them like, mix them into a salad, full of protein, full of carbs, full of like,
And they're like
good
superfoods.
Yeah, beans are like the one.
I read a book about ultra runners who were in a tribe somewhere in Africa, in Mexico, and they run with like beans, cooked beans in their pocket, and in the other pocket they've got a tortilla wrap. Like when we have gels, they just literally get a tortilla wrap out, slap some beans on it, eat it, and then they go for another 50 miles.
Yeah, beans are the one. Like, chucking a bit of quinoa and stuff like that.
It's good, like that. And that, the thing is, that's proper food. But the generation we live in, or the world we live in, is we think proper food is like, takeaways and kebabs and pizzas and Mackies. And if you actually like really delve into it, that food is like,
and you can turn all of that into like
shit.
a really tasty salad that's not like your iceberg lettuce and your cherry tomato and your cucumber all mixed up and then a bit of fucking salad cream on top. Like,
that
salt,
is the worst.
salt, pepper, olive oil, all the beans, chuck like chuck a can of tuna in it and a bit of spinach or kale.
Yeah, and your salad should look like, we've gone off as a tangent now, but the salad should look like a rainbow.
Yeah. And that'll be full of all the vitamins, all the minerals. It might be not the thing you want to eat like day 2 after an event. No, but just, it's one of them things you just have to like get it in. Like sometimes you finish a workout, you don't have a protein shake. I don't have them, but
yeah, it's like, it's going to help you.
Yeah, it's not what I want to drink. Oh, I'd love to be at like the pub with my mates now, but have a protein shake, have something to eat, and then just go out.
Yeah, it's like you have to do what's good for you, what's right for you. It's not always correlating to what you want.
And it's not about how doing that you think like you're a really serious athlete, a professional high rocks or a professional 10K. It's not that, but it's like giving your body the right stuff.
Yeah, it's literally, do you know what it is? It's discipline. It's like doing the stuff that's right for you, not what you want. That's what discipline is. So we do it. You wake up, you know that you need to get that speed work session in, but you don't want to, but you do it. And that's because you're disciplined. It's not, people always talk about motivation, don't they? I'm not motivated to eat healthy. No one is. You have to be disciplined to eat healthy.
for when our high rocks, there wasn't a lot that was motivating me to do all those speed sessions or those track sessions, apart from not wanting to feel embarrassed on the day
Yeah.
when people coming to watch it that
Yeah.
paid 15 quid for a ticket and be like, I thought you said you were decent at running.
And you're like, once you've said you do something, you do it, you
Yeah.
know?
So that's my motivation. Like, I fucking hate those speed sessions. I hate the long running. I hate it all. I'd love to just be able to, my brain to tell me, just sit on your arse, Sam, and do nothing with your life. Like, in respect to like fitness, just do whatever you want.
But you can't.
I can't
You're
sit
not
here
wired like that, though.
I can't sit here and do that. You know, I could do it for maybe one episode and then be like, no, fuck it, I'm going out.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to be like with like the nutrition, the recovery and stuff. Because recovery's, you know, all the things we've mentioned, the recovery is probably so much bigger than the actual training for the event, like the speed sessions or the weight sessions. Because if you don't recover and eat right on each of those sessions that have finished, the next one's always going to feel like shit. So it's a collective, and the recovery is probably a massive part of it.
Yeah, recovery is important. And hopefully this episode's helped, or at least just reminded you about it. Like we said, we don't actually do it to the extent that we talk on it, but most people don't do things that they know are right, but we know it's important. And I think as we progress through our kind of fitness, high rocks, running, like journey thing, without being cringy, it's like we'll learn that, you know, like next time we go to a high rocks, we'll actually stretch. Because I know when we were sat in that car on the way home, I was really uncomfortable. Like my leg was like cramping a bit, and just 5 minutes of stretching could have helped. And we just learn as we go, and that's the point of the podcast. Like you said before, like we learn stuff, then we share it. We mess up, we share it, and we like kind of share what we learn as we go. It's pretty much what the podcast is meant to be about.
It was always meant to be relatable, wasn't it? This
Yeah, it's like
podcast.
from the source is that we are the source. We are the source.
That sounded so much
Yeah.
better in your head.
But as in you're getting the source because it's from.
It's just this. You just said this.
You know,
absolute bollocks.
It's from us firsthand. So, but yeah, I mean, without you know the funniness, is like we do stuff and then I've messed it up now, haven't I?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, hopefully this has helped, because recovery is important, nutrition's important, stretching's important, and they all intertwine. And if you're someone that's into high rocks or into running or into racing or into CrossFit or into gym, you'll be like listening to this going, yeah, recovery is important, but I probably don't do it either, you know? So thanks for listening. If you're not yet following, subscribing, liking, sharing, then please do. It helps the channel. Follow us on Spotify or subscribe on YouTube. You can also find us on Instagram. That's our main platform. So if you can, give us a follow, give us a like, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you on the next one.